Hey everyone, and welcome back to Sleepy Science Channel. Tonight, we'll wander together through the ancient dream of our planet, to a time when giants moved through mist and forests breathed with thunder. So before we begin, take a slow breath and let it fall gently. If you enjoy these calm journeys through science and stillness, don't forget to subscribe and share a thought below. It helps other sleepy souls find their way here too. Now, close your eyes if you'd like, and let's listen to the footsteps of deep time together. Before there were bones, before there was breath, there was only silence, a molten planet, turning in the dark. Earth was young then, fierce and radiant, wrapped in cloud and flame. Its oceans were still forming, drawn from the sky by endless rain, and its surface hissed as water met fire. This was the world before life, a restless sphere of stone, learning how to cool, how to cradle something fragile enough to live. When the storms eased, the first calm arrived. The air shimmered with minerals. Lightning danced across shallow seas. And somewhere, in that electric cradle, the chemistry of life began its quiet experiment. Simple molécules combined, forming structures that copied themselves, tiny sparks of persistence in an endless ocean. No one was there to witness it, but in that instant, the universe tilted toward awareness. The first heartbeat of biology began to pulse. For millions of years, life existed only as whispers, microbes drifting through green-tinted shallows, matting the seafloor with carpets of color. They breathed sunlight, exhaling oxygen into an atmosphere that had never known it before. Each breath was a message to the future, a promise that the world would one day belong to creatures of muscle and bone. In their patience, they remade the sky. Blue appeared. The seas cleared. The air turned soft enough to fill lungs that did not yet exist. Continents moved like slow dreams across the globe. Mountains rose. Erol rose again. Volcanoes lit the horizons with crimson storms, and rivers carved the first patterns of memory into the land. Beneath it all, life diversified, branching and blooming in the shadows of time. Strange animals crept from the water, finned things that learned to crawl, breathing both air and curiosity. The earth had begun to awaken its imagination. Through the vast clock of prehistory, extinction and renewal played their eternal rhythm. Entire worlds flourished and vanished, each leaving behind the raw materials for what would come next. Forests of tree ferns covered the continents. Insects the size of birds filled the sky. Amphibians ruled the rivers and swamps, and deep within the soil, seeds waited for their turn under the sunday. Then, one day though, day meant 1,000 centuries. A new kind of creature stepped onto the stage. Small, upright, and alert, its limbs held beneath its body like pillars. It was fast, balanced. Its heartbeat matched the rhythm of pursuit. It was the first true dinosaur, a design the planet would fall in love with for the next 160 million years. Imagine it now, a red desert at dawn, the horizon trembling with heat. The air smells of iron and wet stone. A young Eoraptor, no larger than a cat, darts through the scrub, eyes bright, muscles coiled. Each step is a victory of form over chance, a glimpse of what evolution can achieve when it dares. Around it, the world hums with possibility. No mammals yet, no birdsong, no flowers. Just the deep thrum of wind, the hiss of lava in the distance, and the faint clicking of insects testing new wings. Earth is young, full of promises it cannot yet keep. But somewhere in that ancient stillness, a destiny is unfolding, one that will fill the world with titans, colors, and voices. As we drift further into this ancient dream, feel the weight of time around you slow, gentle, vast. Every breath you take now carries traces of that first ocean air. The iron in your blood was forged in those early volcanic fires. The calcium in your bones once slept in those primordial seas. You are not separate from that history. You are part of the same unfolding, a continuation of life's first quiet question. Can I endure? Close your eyes for a moment. Picture the newborn world, glowing beneath a softer Sunday. See the long shadows stretching over young continents. Hear the pulse of rain falling on ancient stone. This is where every heartbeat, every feather, every thought began, in the dream of deep time. In the beginning, there were no borders, only drifting continents finding their shape. The Triassic dawn spread across the planet like a soft exhalation after chaos. Volcanoes still whispered from the seams of the earth, but the fires had gentled, and life began to bloom in ways never seen before. The scars of creation were cooling, and through their cracks, the first dinosaurs took their breath. Pangaea, the single supercontinent, stretched from pole to pole. It was a world of extremes, vast deserts at its heart, humid coasts along its edges. Seasons burned and froze with merciless rhythm. But even in such harshness, evolution found opportunity. Small reptiles and early mammals scurried beneath cycads and conifers, while strange amphibians lingered in shrinking ponds. And among them, slender creatures rose on two legs, their bones light, their movements quick, their gaze sharp, with something entirely new. Awareness of pursuit. They were not yet the giants of later ages. These first dinosaurs were modest: Eoraptor, Herrerasaurus, Coelophysis, lean-bodied hunters and nimble scavengers, their limbs positioned directly beneath them like pillars of intention. This single anatomical change, standing upright, was an evolutionary revolution. It freed their bodies to move with power and grace, turning each stride into a controlled fall forward. They were no longer crawling through time. They were running into it. The world they ran through was raw and restless. Conifers towered like green cathedrals. Ferns spread in low carpets beneath their shade. The air was thick with moisture and the scent of resin. Insects shimmered in shafts of light, their wings the only music in the still heat. Here and there, rivers cut silver ribbons through the red earth, and along their banks, herds of ancient reptiles basked, their scales reflecting the sun like molten glass. Beneath the surface, the continents shifted, and deep within the mantle, pressure built unseen. The ground trembled, valleys split open, mountains rose. Each quake rearranged the world's blueprint, and life, tireless as ever, adapted to every new horizon. The planet itself was sculpting the stage upon which the age of dinosaurs would unfold. Each eruption, each flood, each season of drought was a rehearsal for a performance that would last 100 million years. Picture now a Triassic twilight. The sun dips low, painting the land in gold and rust. A small predator stalks the shadows of cycads, its body blending perfectly with the color of dust. In the distance, thunder murmurs, not from clouds, but from the earth itself. The air trembles with heat. The horizon glows as molten rock oozes from new fissures. And still, the creature moves, calm, precise, unafraid. It does not yet know it belongs to the future. As days turned into millennia, the small became strong, the quick became dominant. Predators and prey began their eternal dance. Herbivorous ancestors grew larger, developing hips built for endurance, jaws shaped for grinding leaves, and skin that could survive both drought and flood. The predators evolved in response: longer legs, sharper teeth, and eyes set forward for focus. Evolution was not a war. It was a conversation, one written in muscle and bone. The earth itself seemed to pulse with rhythm. During the day, heat shimmered across plains of red dust. At night, the stars burned cold and endless, reflected in lakes. So still they seemed like portals to other worlds. Lightning flickered at the edge of storms, and the scent of ozone and rain filled the forests. Each storm brought renewal. Each drought brought endurance. The creatures of this world learned patience, and patience would make them powerful. Even as they rose, disaster tested them. Mass extinction swept across the Triassic, wiping out many of their reptilian kin. Volcanic gases darkened the sky. Oceans acidified. Forests fell silent. But through that darkness, the dinosaurs endured. Their bodies, light yet strong, carried them through famine and flood. Their lungs, intricate and efficient, gave them the stamina to outlast the dying air. They became the inheritors of survival itself. When the clouds finally cleared, a new Earth waited beneath the ash fertile, silent and ready. From its soil sprouted the first great forests of the Jurassic world. From its shadows stepped the first truly colossal forms of life. The age of giants was coming, and the quiet resilience of the Triassic had built the strength required to greet it. As you breathe now, imagine the rhythm of those distant footsteps echoing through time. The first thud of a heavy stride, the vibration of muscle and stone, the heartbeat of a world still discovering what life could become. We walk among their descendants, but their pulse still moves through the earth beneath us. Close your eyes for a moment. Hear the breath of fire turn to forest. The hiss of ash turned to song. From ruin came rhythm. From silence, the age of giants awoke. The earth exhales warmth. The Triassic storms fade, and a new calm spreads across the continents. Humidity gathers in the air, turning the world lush and green again. It is the beginning of the Jurassic, a time when the land grows gentle enough for life to expand, and evolution takes a deep, unhurried breath. Forests stretch farther than sight can follow. Towering conifers pierce the clouds, their needles dripping with mist each morning. Ferns and horsetails fill the undergrowth like living carpets, while dragonflies with glassy wings drift above still ponds. The air hums with life. Rivers twist through valleys, and the sky glows with a softness born of endless rainfall. This is a breathing world, warm, fragrant, abundant, a perfect cradle for something enormous to awaken. From the damp shadows, the first colossal herbivores emerge. They are unlike anything the earth has ever seen. Their necks stretch like bridges between earth and sky. Their tails sweep the ground in arcs that could shatter trees. Their hearts beat like engines of thunder. These are the sauropods, gentle, relentless, and vast beyond comprehension. Each step they take sends a tremor through the forest floor, a slow drumbeat marking the rhythm of deep time. Imagine standing at dawn, mist curling around your feet. The air is thick with the scent of wet soil and ancient pine. Ahead of you, a herd of Brachiosaurus moves through the trees. Their silhouettes rise, like mountains in motion. The sunlight catches the dew on their skin, and steam rises from their breath in great silver clouds. They move without hurry, each motion graceful, deliberate, eternal. Their bodies are ecosystems unto themselves, carrying entire forests of insects and moss upon their hides. Beneath them, smaller dinosaurs scurry, Compsognathus, swift and alert, feeding on insects, stirred from the soil by the giant's feet. The world now thrives on hierarchy and balance. Ach Niche, each adaptation woven perfectly into the fabric of survival. Evolution has found a rhythm, and it sings through every motion, from the smallest flutter of wings to the heavy sigh of a titan resting at the river's edge. Predators, too, grow bold in this new abundance. Allosaurus stalks the plains, its muscles rippling beneath dappled light. Its eyes are keen, its movements patient as shadow. It does not roar, for there is no need for sound. When silence is a weapon, it waits. It watches. Then, in a flash of grace and violence, the calm of the forest becomes a single burst of motion. Tooth, claw, dust, stillness, balance restored once more. The earth in this age is restless, but generous. Volcanoes rumble far away, their ash falling like soft grey snow. The soil, rich with minerals, feeds ferns taller than men, and cycads spread like emerald suns across the horizon. The atmosphere thickens with oxygen and warmth. Rain drifts through sunlight, turning each afternoon into a shimmering haze. It is as if the entire planet is sighing with relief. Alive, awake, overflowing. In this age, everything grows. Not just bodies, but possibilities. Feathers begin to appear on small predators, first as insulation, then as ornament. Bright colors flash between the trees, hints of what the future will bring. The line between reptile and bird blurs quietly, and the sky, once empty, begins to stir with promise. The first true flight is still far away, but already the dream of air has taken root in bone. Even in abundance, time remains patient. Millions of years pass like the slow turning of a page. Continents drift apart, opening the first seas that will divide the world forever. New coastlines shimmer in the sun, and coral reefs bloom where lava once flowed. The earth is in motion, always changing, always renewing. Each era builds upon the breath of the one before. Each extinction prepares the stage for new light. If you listen closely now, you can almost hear the world humming, a sound made not by voices, but by life itself. The rustle of fern fronds in humid air, the echo of footfalls across wet stone, the distant call of something ancient and vast. It is the pulse of the Jurassic. Slow, majestics, certain. Take a deep breath. Let your lungs fill with the same air that once brushed against those towering leaves. Some of the oxygen you breathe tonight was born from the same chemical song that filled the Jurassic sky. You are part of this continuity, a fragment of that long green dream that never ended, only changed shape. Close your eyes and imagine the hush between heartbeats, the sound of giants moving through the mist. The world is full of motion, but in this moment, it stands completely still. The morning mist glows gold over a river valley that could swallow cities. From its depths, slow tremors rise not from the earth itself, but from the weight of living mountains moving toward the light. The sauropods have awakened. Their silhouettes stretch beyond comprehension. Bodies the length of trains, necks as tall as towers, tails sweeping the ferns like pendulums, marking deep time. Each step resounds like thunder softened by distance, a rhythm older than language, older than memory. To see one in motion is to witness patience made flesh. Their enormous hearts pump life upward through necks longer than most trees. Air flows through vast lungs laced with air sacs, a secret borrowed from the birds that will one day follow. Their bones, though immense, are light as architecture, hollowed by nature's engineering to bear impossible size. Their blood moves slow but sure, each pulse a wave of persistence, rolling through muscle and bone. They are proof of what endurance can build when time is generous. Imagine standing beneath a brachiosaurus as it feeds. The canopy parts, a curtain of drifting leaves, and sunlight scatters across its skin in moving constellations. Its breath rises warm and damp, smelling faintly of resin and fern sap. A low rumble travels through its chest, not a roar, but a resonance, as if the creature is humming to the forest itself. Around its ankles, Dragonflies circle like tiny jeweled satellites, and in the hush that follows, you can hear the slow chewing of eternity. Nearby, Diplodocus herds move across the plains in long, undulating lines, their tails swinging in sync, 40-foot whips slicing the air with the faintest crack. Some paleontologists believe those tails could break the sound barrier, producing sonic booms that echoed for miles. If true, the plains of the Jurassic must have thrummed with a sound that no living ear will ever hear again. Half thunder, half heartbeat, the percussion of giants in perfect coordination. Argentinosaurus dwarfs them all. At 70 tons, its shadow alone could swallow herds of smaller creatures. And yet, this titan moves with grace, its immense weight distributed through legs like marble columns. Each vertebra is as tall as a man, its skeleton an orchestra of balance and strength. When it exhales, clouds of vapor rise like morning fog. When it lies down to rest, the earth seems to tilt toward it, acknowledging the mass of life itself. The world around them shapes itself to their presence. Forests grow tall to feed their hunger. Rivers shift their courses where herds drink and wade. The soil beneath their feet is pressed into rock that will someday bear their footprints, stone signatures of lives too vast to fully grasp. Insects, birds, and small reptiles thrive in their wake, each feeding on what the giants stir, trample, or leave behind. Even decay becomes an act of creation here. The fall of a single sauropod feeds an ecosystem for weeks. High above, the air carries a shimmer of dust, the pollen of ancient forests, the breath of volcanoes. From that haze, sunlight filters through like liquid amber, painting the landscape in tones of gold and deep green. Rain drifts in slow diagonal threads. The smell of wet fern and clay fills the air. This is the soundscape of the Jurassic. Gentle, rhythmic, endless. A planet alive with equilibrium. Far across the plains, predators linger at the edges of the herds. Allosaurus watches, tail twitching, eyes locked on the weak or the wandering. It knows patience, a hunter sculpted by scarcity. It does not challenge the herd directly. Instead, it waits for the misstep, the moment when one young or old strays too far. Even in this paradise, the balance of life and death is written into every motion, every breath. When the chase comes, it is brief, a flash of dust, a cry swallowed by wind, and the forest continues to breathe as before. At night, the air cools and the mist rises again. The giants sleep standing, their vast chests rising and falling in the dim starlight. Fireflies drift through the humid air, their glows mirrored in still pools beneath cycads. Somewhere, far away, a volcano murmurs softly, its light painting the clouds in red. The stars above look no different than they do now, the same constellations forming over a world that had not yet known us. Time folds here, and in the stillness between breaths, you can almost believe you are standing beside them, watching the slow miracle of life in its grandest form. The sauropods are more than creatures. They are a philosophy of existence, unhurried, immense, peaceful. They remind us that growth need not be violent, that strength can be silent, and that survival, at its purest, is simply persistence through change. Their bones will one day sleep beneath stone and pressure, their weight transformed into memory. But tonight, in this gentle retelling, they live again, breathing, moving, glowing softly in the rain. Take one long, slow breath. Feel the heaviness in your chest mirror theirs, that deep, grounding rhythm of the earth itself. The dinosaurs are awake, and through them, so is the planet. This is the sound of deep time turning, and the night is vast enough to hold it. When morning returns to the Jurassic world, It arrives not with silence, but with movement. The light drifts like water through leaves, and everything beneath it stirs. Tiny lizards flicker between the roots. Dragonflies shimmer like living jewels above the ponds. And somewhere beyond the tree line, a sound breaks the calm light. Quick, deliberate. It is the sound of a hunter. The age of giants belongs to the sauropods, but the age of mastery belongs to the hunters who move between them. Where the plant eaters are towers, these predators are arrows, built not for weight, but for precision. They are theropods, two-legged, balanced, focused. Their bodies are symphonies of motion, bones light as air, tails long as counterweights, muscles coiled for grace and speed. They are not monsters. They are momentum given form. An Allosaurus steps into the light. Its head turns slowly, eyes scanning the horizon. Each muscle beneath its skin flexes like braided wire. Its claws press lightly into the earth, testing the texture of the ground before each stride. It is both predator and dancer, its every motion silent, except for the whisper of air against its hide. When it runs, the world seems to hold its breath. Nearby, smaller raptors weave through the underbrush. They hunt in pairs, perhaps even in groups, their coordination wordless, their instincts ancient. They pause at the edge of a clearing, watching the shadows of grazing herbivores move like ships in mist. Then, as if following an unseen signal, they spring, a blur of claws, dust, and feathers. It is over in seconds. The forest returns to quiet, and the only trace of the hunt is the rustle of leaves settling back into place. Evolution has begun to experiment with lightness. Feathers sprout along arms and tails, first as insulation, then as patterns of display and beauty. What began as warmth becomes ornament. Some feathers shimmer like bronze or violet when sunlight touches them, a preview of the colors that will one day fill the sky with birds. A small predator preens itself after feeding, its feathers glinting in the orange dusk. It lifts its head, and for a moment, it looks almost familiar. The world around these hunters hums with rhythm. Wind sighs through the ferns. Rain gathers and falls from the canopy in sudden bursts. Lakes flash silver in the distance where herds have come to drink. Even in chaos, there is harmony. Predator and prey shape each other in perfect reciprocity. The hunters grow faster, the hunted wiser. It is not war, it is evolution's long conversation, written in tooth, bone, and instinct. Picture a dry plain at sunset. Dust lifts from the earth in golden veils. A group of small ornithomimids, bird mimics, sprint across the horizon. Their feet strike the ground in flawless rhythm, tails streaming behind them like banners. They can reach speeds faster than the fastest human sprinter, their lungs burning with air that passes cleanly through bird-like sacs. They are the messengers of motion, creatures designed not for fighting or hiding, but for the pure, effortless act of running. Elsewhere, a predator watches them pass, its eyes narrow, calculating distance, wind, terrain. For a heartbeat, time seems to pause, the entire world balanced on the edge of intent. Then, movement, a single explosive lunge. The two arcs of speed converge in a blur, a clash written in the dust. Survival for both is a matter of precision and grace. Each life depends on how well it moves through time. The air of the Jurassic feels charged, not just with heat, but with the quiet tension of evolution's patience. Every creature alive is a sculpted answer to the same question. How shall I move through this world? Some crawl. Some fly in gliding arcs from cliff to cliff. Some run so fast, their hearts nearly burn through their ribs. Every stride is an experiment in perfection. Every heartbeat is a declaration of presence. At dusk, The forest breathes again. Predators rest, bellies full. Herbivores gather near rivers, their shadows long and soft in the amber light. The sky glows pink and green from the reflection of a distant volcano. Somewhere in the high canopy, a small feathered dinosaur leaps between branches, gliding for the first time. A brief, floating moment that changes everything. It is not flight yet, but it is the first dream of it. The air cools. Mist rises. The forest returns to its pulse, a low, steady rhythm of breathing, chewing, dripping rain, and distant calls. Every life form, from giant to insect, moves in sync with the planet's slow rotation. There are no clocks, only cycles of growth, hunger, rest, renewal. In that rhythm, balance is found. In that balance, the Earth dreams of the future. Take a deep, steady breath now. Feel it rise through your chest, as if pulled upward by invisible air sacs, like those in the ribs of a dinosaur. You, too, are a creature of motion, descendant of survivors who learned to move through change. You carry their endurance in your muscles, their curiosity in your blood. The Earth remembers through you, and even as you lie still, some ancient part of you continues to move, a quiet echo of the masters of motion. The dawn rises slow over the late Jurassic, and for the first time, the light catches something new. A shimmer of color along the flank of a small predator. At first glance, it looks like scales catching the sunday, but as it moves, the shimmer changes, iridescent and soft, like silk in a breeze. Feathers, not yet wings, not quite flight, just delicate filaments, spreading warmth across skin. But from these threads of down, a miracle begins to take shape. Evolution has been sculpting the air for millions of years. Feathers, at their birth, were not for flying. They were blankets, displays, and instruments of beauty. They kept small creatures warm through cool Triassic nights. They flashed colors to attract mates. They rippled and hissed during courtship dances that no eye will ever see again. Each plume was an experiment, a whisper of what the future sky would one day hold. Now, in the heat of the late Jurassic forests, those whispers become something louder. Some creatures, like Archaeopteryx, stretch their feathered arms and catch the wind. They leap from branches, gliding short distances between trees, their bodies suspended in still air for the first time in history. It is awkward, uncertain, but it is also sacred. The moment gravity begins to lose its monopoly on movement. Imagine it, the hush of an ancient forest at sunset, shafts of amber light falling through mist, and from above, a sudden flutter, a small creature gliding between shadows, its feathers glowing with bronze and violet fire. It lands silently, claws curling around a branch, heart pounding with the discovery of flight. The air holds it gently, as if the planet itself is learning how to breathe differently. Feathers are chemistry made art. Microscopic structures bend and scatter light, turning pigment into iridescence. No paint can match the living spectrum that shimmers across these forms. Blue, gold, crimson, ultraviolet, colors once trapped in the sea and sky, now blooming on living skin. For the first time, the Earth wears light. Not all dinosaurs need to fly to be radiant. Velociraptors, smaller than Hollywood ever told us, are covered in sleek plumes, feathers layered like armor. Their tails, once whips of balance, become banners of display, signals of strength, dominance, or allure. When they run through the dust, their feathers ripple like flames. It is beauty in motion, evolution turned into performance. The air itself begins to change. With each generation, creatures climb higher, stretch farther, glide longuer. Forests become vertical worlds, not just ground and canopy, but space in between, filled with bodies that drift, swoop, and call. The soundscape shifts, chirps, trills, flutters, the rush of wings. Life has found its new element, the sky, and still, beneath that beauty, there is precision. Bones hollow and lighten, lungs stretch and loop, turning air into continuous breath. Hearts beat faster, smaller, more efficient. Every feathered leap carries with it the blueprint of the future bird. Every fall teaches a new way to rise. The earth does not rush. It simply refines the dream of flight until the air itself becomes home. Picture now a rainstorm breaking over a tropical valley. Lightning splits the clouds. A small feathered dinosaur leaps from a rock, catching an updraft. For a heartbeat, it floats against the wind, wings spread wide, rain beading across its plumes. The flash of light turns its feathers into molten gold. It glides downward, landing softly among ferns glowing with rain. It shakes itself dry, a movement both primal and utterly familiar. The first spark of a sparrow in the body of a dragon. In time, the air will belong to these descendants. But even now, the forests hum with anticipation. The sky is no longer empty. It is a threshold. Below, the giants graze and thunder. Above, the new world whispers in color and motion. It is a balance of scales and feathers, earth and air, weight and lift. The age of giants begins to dream of lightness. Take a breath. Feel the air fill your lungs, that ancient design passed down unbroken. From these first gliders, to birds, to you. When you breathe, you echo 1 billion years of adaptation, the endless refinement of grace. The wind you feel tonight once moved through forests, filled with wings made of fire and air. And in that wind, the earth learned how to fly. The world has grown full. Forests stretch from horizon to horizon, and every clearing trembles with life. The air is thick with warmth and pollen. The ground vibrates with the passage of feet. Not just one kind, but thousands. Different bodies, shapes, and sounds, woven together into a single, breathing orchestra. The age of giants has become the age of community. Across a vast floodplain, morning fog drifts over herds of hadrosaurs, duck-billed grazers, their crests curved like ancient horns of music. They feed in silence until one lifts its head, tilts back its neck, and releases a deep, haunting call. It resonates through the mist like a low flute, rising, falling, echoing from distant trees. Others answer, their tones overlapping, forming chords that ripple through the valley. Communication, emotional, organized, ancient. This is not chaos. This is song. Each species plays its own rhythm. Ceratopsians, the horned dinosaurs, move in heavy syncopation, their footfalls deliberate, their heads adorned with shields of bone and color. Triceratops leads her young, her horns tipped with mud and sunlight. She lowers her head not in anger, but to nudge a hatchling upright, to guide it toward the safety of the group. They move together, a living fortress wrapped around their young. Elsewhere, the hadrosaur herds stretch for kilometers, tens of thousands, moving as one body. Their skin glows under the sun, in mottled patterns of ochre, jade, and blue. Dust rises behind them like incense. Every movement has purpose. The flick of a tail, the shift of shoulders, the warning thump of a foot. Their senses are tuned to each other. A ripple of sound and motion runs through the herd, like wind across tall grass. This is survival by harmony. Predators circle, of course. A pack of dromaeosaurs, small, feathered, clever, watches from the ridge. They know that numbers mean protection, but also opportunity. They choose the edges, where the old and weak drift. They strike, quick and coordinated, then vanish before the herd can turn. For a moment, the valley erupts, hundreds of feet pounding, tails sweeping dust into spirals. And then, quiet. The rhythm returns, the symphony continues. The plains are alive not just with sound, but with color. Crested Parasaurolophus display their bright patterns under the sun. Golden throats, crimson crests, rippling iridescence in the heat. Scientists believe those long, curved tubes in their skulls acted as resonating chambers, natural instruments of communication. Each call could carry for kilometers a deep, mournful note that joined the chorus of the ancient world. To stand among them would be like standing inside a living orchestra, each tone rising from lungs, bones, and earth. The ground tells its own story. Footprints layer over footprints, roads made not by intent, but by migration. A language of pressure pressed into mud. Nests line the ridges, shallow bowls filled with eggs, guarded by mothers who shade them with their bodies. Small omnivores wander between them, snatching scraps of shell and seed. Even scavengers have their place in this ecosystem of rhythm. Nothing is wasted. Everything feeds everything else. At dusk, the heat fades, and the plains glow amber. Herds move toward the rivers, their reflections wavering in the slow current. Some drink, others simply stand in the water, steam rising from their bodies like incense in twilight. Fireflies flicker above the surface. Somewhere far off, a ceratopsian bellows, its voice rolling like thunder over the hills. Another answers, Zofta, almost tender. Evening falls like a blanket over the symphony, but the music never stops. It simply slows to a heartbeat. Imagine this world from above. Lines of motion trace the land. Migratory paths crossing forests, rivers, canyons. From high in the air, the earth looks alive, its surface flowing with living rivers of movement. Each herd, each flock, each hunter, a note in the great composition of survival. And all of it, guided by instinct, that quiet intelligence of the body, older than thought itself. You too are part of that music. Your heartbeat matches the same rhythm. Your breath rises and falls, like those ancient migrations. Every pulse in your veins carries the echo of that symphony, a memory written in blood, not words. So when you breathe now, do it slowly. Inhale the warmth of that ancient Sunday. Exhale the calm of those endless plains. For in that stillness, you are standing once again among the herds, listening to the soft thunder of life, moving peacefully through time. The morning light glances off armor and horn. The plains awaken beneath the slow weight of motion, creatures sculpted by danger, each body a living shield, each silhouette a declaration of endurance. This is the world's gallery of defense, evolution's art, carved not in marble, but in muscle, bone, and courage. In the half-shadow of dawn, a triceratops stands watch beside her calf. Her frill catches the sunlight, its surface patterned with scars from old battles. Across her face, 3 horns curve forward like crescents. Weapons? Yes, but also symbols. When she lowers her head, the air between her and the horizon seems to tighten, as if gravity itself knows to step aside. Yet she is not made for attack. Her strength lies in restraint. Every motion says, I will not yield, but I will not strike first. Not far away, Ankylosaurus moves like a walking fortress. Its back is paved with plates of bone, each one fitted with precision, a mosaic of armor laid over centuries of adaptation. Sunlight gleams along its ridged spine, casting gold and shadow over scales thick as stone. At the end of its tail rests a club, dense as a meteorite, capable of shattering bone with a single swing. When it walks, the ground seems to hum with confidence. Slow, deliberate, unstoppable. In the highlands, Stegosaurus grazes among ferns, its back adorned with towering plates that glow like embers in morning mist. Some believe those plates were armor. Others think they were instruments of display or heat regulation, radiators of life in a changing climate. But in motion, they look like sails, a wind-blown banner marking its passage through deep time. Its tail, armed with 4 long spikes, moves with unexpected speed when danger draws near. A single swing could silence a predator's ambition forever. Across the wetlands, smaller creatures mimic the giant's inventions. Horned protoceratops, armored euoplocephalus, even the spined polycanthus. Each carries its own variation of survival. Some hide beneath foliage, some trust camouflage, some brandish color as warning. There is no single way to endure, only countless paths leading to the same truth. To live is to adapt. Evolution paints this era not with fragility, but with resilience. Every plate, frill, and spike is a testament to trial. Millions of years of pressure, shaped by jaws and claws and persistence. The predators evolve sharper teeth. The herbivores evolve thicker armor. The chase becomes a dialogue, each response shaping the next verse. This is how the earth writes its poetry. Not in words, but in symmetry and survival. Picture a clearing at dusk. A small herd of triceratops moves through the long grass, their horns glowing amber in the setting sunday. The air is heavy with pollen. The low hum of insects vibrates between trees. From the shadows, a predator stirs. Tyrannosaurus, its head massive, its breath slow and steady. It watches, waiting for weakness. But the herd holds formation, a wall of horn and will. The predator hesitates. For all its power, it knows this battle is not certain. And so it watches them pass, a living phalanx moving toward twilight. Rain falls through the night, softening the edges of the world. The armored ones rest, their massive bodies steaming in the cool air. Water pools in the grooves of their backs, reflecting starlight like constellations caught in motion. Each breath is slow, each exhale deep, a rhythm of creatures who have nothing left to prove. Their armor is not just defense, it is inheritance, a reminder that peace is sometimes built from endurance, not absence of struggle. By dawn, the plains glisten again. The giants rise, shaking droplets from plates and frills. Steam curls upward, blending with the first light of day. Around them, the world stirs to life. Predators stretching, birds gliding low, rivers whispering in the distance. For a moment, the entire landscape feels still, as if admiring its own perfection. This is balance, the meeting point between strength and serenity. You too carry echoes of these designs, not in armor or horn, but in spirit, in the quiet strength that endures without needing to attack, in the resilience that bends without breaking. Your defenses are different, but they come from the same deep place. The will to continue, to persist through pressure, to face the storm without losing shape. So breathe slowly now. Inhale the calm after thunder. Exhale the weight of ancient patience. Somewhere inside you, a creature with armor sleeps, peaceful, grounded, and perfectly alive. Beneath the thunder and spectacle, beneath the roars, the herds, and the storms, there is another world, quieter, gentler, and more secret. It is the world of beginnings, of nests hidden under leaves, of eggs, warmed by sunlight and patience, of small lives waiting in silence to join the great procession of time. In a clearing beside a slow silver river, a triceratops mother stands watch over her nest. Her breath steams softly in the cool morning air. Around her, mounds of earth rise, carefully built bowls filled with eggs, the color of river stone. Each one holds a heartbeat smaller than a thumbprint, a fragile promise that the age of giants will continue. She does not move far. Her massive shadow shields the next generation from the sun, and her ears turn at every sound, alert not from fear, but devotion. Nearby, a group of smaller dinosaurs tend their own nests. Maiasaura, good mother lizards. Their colonies stretch for miles, each female guarding her clutch, each male bringing food, each hatchling chirping in soft, rhythmic bursts that sound like rain tapping on leaves. When danger comes, a predator's distant call, the crack of a branch, the adults form a living wall around the young. The world of the dinosaurs, often imagined in chaos, was also a world of care. The forest floor hums with quiet life. Beetles crawl between roots. Frogs and early mammals steal warmth from the nest's edges. The smell of damp soil mixes with resin and fern sap. Each footstep of a giant stirs tiny storms of dust that feed the hidden ecosystems beneath them. Even decay has beauty here. Fallen leaves turning to soil, bones slowly dissolving into minerals, returning strength to the earth that bore them. Sometimes, the giants leave behind more delicate traces. Footprints pressed into soft clay, feathers caught in amber, fossilized nests, where tiny impressions of shells still hold the shape of vanished life. These are the whispers of the past, messages left in the language of geology. They tell us not only how these creatures lived, but that they cared, that they nurtured, that their world was full of tenderness, hidden beneath the weight of myth. Picture a late afternoon on the edge of a lake. The light is warm, the air heavy with the scent of wet vegetation. A diplodocus herd moves through the shallows, their tails rippling the water like slow waves. Calves walk between their parents' legs, protected by a forest of limbs. Every few steps, a mother lowers her neck to nudge her young, checking, guiding, teaching. There is no sound of battle here, only the deep sigh of breath, the lapping of water, the low music of care and continuity. Even predators have families. A pair of allosaurs guards a rocky den, their hatchlings chirping and clicking, their tiny teeth not yet fierce enough to hunt. The adults bring food, small carcasses, gifts of survival. When the young finish feeding, they curl beneath their mother's chest, safe in the thrum of her heartbeat. For a world so often remembered in violence, its truest sound is stillness. Its truest shape is circle, life feeding life, generation to generation. Night falls across the forest. The air cools. Mist rolls through the trees, catching moonlight in slow-moving ribbons. You can hear the faint chirp of insects, the creak of branches under the weight of resting giants. Somewhere, a young dinosaur stirs in its nest, its breath quick and soft. The stars above shine through gaps in the canopy, the same stars that will watch over every living thing that follows. They are witnesses, patient and unchanged, to all the hidden tenderness of the earth. When paleontologists uncover a fossilized nest, they kneel in silence. Brushes sweep away layers of stone, grain by grain, until the shape of a tiny ribcage emerges. It is fragile enough to crumble at a breath, yet it has survived 80 million years. There is awe in that, not just at the creature itself, but at the persistence of life. The record of care endures even when the body does not. Every one of us carries fossils inside. The instincts of protection, the longing for connection, the quiet patience to wait through storms. We inherited those from them, from mothers who guarded nests, from herds who circled the weak, from creatures who found gentleness, even in a world of teeth and thunder. So breathe softly now. Let your body rest, as theirs once did beneath the trees. Let the rhythm of the ancient world settle into your heartbeat. The hush of nests, the warmth of care, the secret continuity of life that never truly disappeared. The continents drift apart. What was once one land, one rhythm, splits slowly into new shapes, new seas, new skies. The earth stretches its limbs, and from that motion, diversity blossoms. Life no longer belongs to a single climate. It spreads to icy poles, steaming jungles, and coral-bright shallows. Everywhere, evolution begins again, painting variations on its endless theme. Picture the polar forests of the ancient South. Snow drifts between tall conifers, but the air is not silent. Feathered dinosaurs move through the half-light, their breath white in the chill, their bodies cloaked in down for warmth. Even here, near the edge of darkness, life persists. The sun rises only for a few hours each day, yet the creatures endure, feeding on roots, bark, and frozen ferns. They huddle together for heat, their hearts beating slow but steady. Beneath the aurora of an ancient sky, far away, on the other side of the planet, heat presses down like a hand. The tropics bloom in excess, vines thick as serpents, flowers the size of shields, insects loud enough to drown out wind. Here, the air itself is alive, filled with the scent of sap and steam. Spinosaurus stalks the river deltas, its sail slicing through the haze. It moves like a shadow among mangroves, half predator, half fisherman. When it dives, the surface explodes in golden foam. Water, too, has become a realm for dinosaurs. The oceans hum with light and motion. Plesiosaurs glide through open water, their necks curving like ribbons through sunbeams. Ichthyosaurs flash silver as they hunt, their skin smooth and glistening, their eyes reflecting 1,000 small stars from the surface above. Ammonites spiral slowly through the depths, perfect geometry in living form. Even below the light, the sea glows faintly with the presence of life. The planet has become an orchestra, each environment a new instrument in the same song. The land follows suit. Forests fill with color not just green, but crimson, amber, and violet. Ferns and cycads give way to flowering plants, the first true blossoms of the world. Pollen drifts through the air, carried by insects whose wings flash with prism light. Each bloom opens like a small sunrise, a delicate answer to millions of years of wind and stone. With flowers comes fragrance, and with fragrance comes memory. The earth begins to smell alive. Dinosaurs adapt to this new beauty. Some evolve to see color more vividly, their eyes tuned to the frequencies of petals. Others develop beaks, perfect tools for plucking seeds and fruit. The planet is teaching them gentleness, to feed not through force, but through precision. Even the air feels different now, warmer, sweeter, rich with the breath of green. The age of armor softens into an age of bloom. From the ground to the canopy, from ocean trench to mountain ridge, life layers itself in complexity. Tiny mammals scurry beneath the ferns, their whiskers trembling with awareness. Birds, true birds, now fill the morning with song. Their feathers glint in colors unknown to earlier eras. Some mimic the shimmer of leaves. Others blaze like embers in flight. The sky, once a domain of silence, has learned to sing. And yet, despite this abundance, the planet remains perfectly balanced. The poles freeze, the tropics steam, storms circle the equator, and lightning writes its name across the clouds. Continents drift, their edges grinding together like tectonic sighs. Volcanoes bloom with fire, and rivers carve new paths through fresh stone. It is not chaos, it is choreography. Each upheaval, each calm, a movement in the long dance of creation. Imagine standing in one of these new worlds, Perhaps on a cliff above a delta, the sky streaked with orange and blue. Below, herds move through the mist. Above, birds wheel in sunlight, their calls echoing over the water. You are surrounded by motion, but the feeling is peace. This planet, in all its scale and noise, is at rest within itself. It has learned how to hold multitudes. We live within those multitudes still. Every ecosystem on Earth today is an echo of these ancient symphonies, a layering of forms, a dialogue between light and gravity, air and blood. To study them is to listen to a conversation that has never stopped. To simply breathe among them is to remember that you belong here too. So breathe, slow, steady. Let the air of your room become the wind of that Cretaceous plain. Let your heartbeat follow the waves of those ancient seas. You are not apart from the story. You are the newest verse in the same long poem, a world within worlds, alive, enduring, and endlessly beautiful. The world is no longer painted in stone and shadow. It shimmers, it hums. The air itself seems alive, filled with flashes of light, ripples of color, and the quiet pulse of sound carried on warm wind. What began as scale and bone has transformed into feather and hue, a new language written across the skin of time. In the canopy, sunlight filters through mist, catching on the backs of small feathered creatures. Their plumage glows in shades of copper, jade, and blue, iridescent like oil on water. These are dinosaurs, still, though they no longer thunder. They whisper. Tiny claws grip the bark of ancient trees. Heads tilt. Eyes glint like polished glass. When they move, they do not stomp. They flutter. One darts from branch to branch, its feathers catching the light like a prism. This is Microraptor, a small four-winged creature that glides through the air, with a grace more like drifting silk than flight. Its wings flash violet in the dusk, its body weightless as smoke. The forest floor below is dark, but up here, the air is painted with motion. Every glide is a heartbeat stretched into space. On the forest floor, another marvel stirs, Anchiornis, with its crest of red feathers and wings patterned like soft ink. It hops between ferns, testing its strength, its feathers puffing and collapsing with each breath. No roar, no thunder, only the sound of leaves parting, the soft whisper of life, learning a new way to move. Once, the skies belonged to pterosaurs, ancient lords of flight. Now, they share the heavens with these new pioneers, feathered dinosaurs, testing the boundary between air and earth. The world, for the first time, begins to sing. Feathers are not only for warmth or flight, they are for display. They are messages written in light. They are art. Some flash bright colors to attract mates. Others wear muted tones to vanish into bark and shade. Evolution paints them, like the dawn paints clouds. Never the same twice, never wasteful. A crest becomes a banner, a plume becomes a voice. Each color carries intent, warning, invitation, identity. It is communication, not through words, but through wonder. As night falls, these new voices do not fall silent. From the trees come calls, whistles, and low trills. Some musical, some hauntingly familiar. They are the ancestors of birdsong, notes woven into the dusk of the Cretaceous. Imagine sitting in the twilight of that time, hearing tones that will one day evolve into robins, cranes, and nightingales. The first lullabies of Earth are being written here. Fossils of feathers tell us this story with breathtaking clarity. Tiny impressions, preserved in stone, still show the delicate barbs and filaments, each one once alive, each one once touched by wind. Under microscopes, scientists find pigment cells called melanosomes shaped like rods or spheres. From them, we learn of color, long vanished from sight. Black and copper, emerald green, shimmering blue. For the first time, the prehistoric world stops being gray. It becomes radiant. But color does more than decorate. It transforms behavior. A male dinosaur mestrut, spreading its feathers to catch the dawn. A rival may retreat or challenge. Females watch, choosing brilliance or humility. Even predators join this new theater. Feathers flash before attack, like lightning before the storm. Beauty and danger merge, two sides of the same ancient coin. And through it all, a truth hums beneath the surface. Sound and color are languages older than words. They are instinct, speaking directly to instinct. The shimmer of feathers, the vibration of song, they do not require translation. They move through time, through bone, through blood. You feel them even now, when a bird passes your window and its wing catches the Sunday. So close your eyes for a moment. Listen. Somewhere beyond sleep, the forest still hums with iridescent life. Tiny claws on bark, a rustle of feathers, a note of song caught in mist. They are not gone. They have only changed form, just as dreams become mornings and endings become beginnings. You carry their colors in your own eyes. You carry their music in your heartbeat. When you breathe out, you echo their rhythm. When you listen, you can still hear them, the whisper of color, the quiet song of deep time, still drifting through the trees of memory. The earth is restless again. Volcanoes breathe fire at the edges of continents. Lightning stalks the horizon in slow, flickering silence. And above the forests, the air trembles with wingbeats. Vast shadows crossing the Sunday. It is the late Cretaceous now, an age of brilliance and foreboding. Life has reached its grand crescendo. Every color shines brighter. Every sound echoes longer. Every heartbeat feels closer to the edge of time. Picture the sky before a storm. The clouds bloom like dark mountains, and from within them, you can hear the deep murmur of thunder, the slow breathing of the planet itself. Across those clouds, a shape glides. Not a bird, but something older, something vast. Quetzalcoatlus, the sky titan. Its wings stretch wider than a small airplane. Each flap of muscle and bone displaces the air with quiet violence. It circles once, twice, then drifts on an invisible current, a creature so immense and effortless. It feels like a dream, pretending to be real. Far below, herds of dinosaurs cross the plains. Triceratops graze among the ferns, their horns gleaming in rainlight. Ankylosaurs move beside them like armored tanks, each step steady and deliberate. And somewhere beyond the mist, a shadow rises. Tyrannosaurus. Its form breaks the horizon, a cathedral of muscle, bone, and intent. It walks with purpose, every motion quiet but inévitable. Its breath steams in the air, and when it exhales, it sounds almost like wind through trees. For years, we have imagined Tyrannosaurus roaring, a sound to shake the world. But science whispers something different. Perhaps it did not roar at all. Perhaps it rumbled, low, deep, and physical. A sound felt more than heard, a resonance that moved through the ground and into the bones of its prey. Imagine standing miles away, the air still, and feeling your chest vibrate, before you even see the shape emerging from the rain. This age belongs to giants, but not just to power. It is an age of refinement, of specialization, of balance perfected. Ceratopsians lock horns in ritual battles. Beneath the rising Sunday, hadrosaurs call across floodplains, through the long, hollow chambers of their skulls. Deep, mournful notes like foghorns over water. Each sound carries for miles, rolling through valleys and marshes, a prehistoric symphony composed in breath and bone. Even the smallest creatures join in the chorus. Tiny mammals emerge from burrows at dusk, their eyes glinting with starlight. Early birds gather in flocks, their songs soft but constant, the lullabies of a changing world. Insects hum in unison, amplified by the stillness before nightfall. The whole planet seems to listen to itself. It is not chaos, it is crescendo, life building towards something unseen. The Cretaceous landscape glows with strange light. Volcanic dust filters the sun, painting the air gold at noon and crimson by dusk. Ash drifts like snow. Mountains bleed fire along their spines, while inland seas shimmer under hazy skies. And through it all, life thrives. Palm forests sway in warm winds. Ferns reach for steam rising from the earth, and rivers glitter with reflections of creatures moving through time. The planet is alive in every element: earth, air, fire, and water, blending into something eternal. There is a hush that falls sometimes, after the thunder, after the rain. It's the stillness before change, that moment when even the air seems to wait. If you stood on one of those plains, you might feel it, the sense that something vast is ending, but no one yet knows. The birds still sing, the herds still graze, but the light feels a little heavier, as though the planet itself is holding its breath. Millions of years later, we will look back and call this the golden dusk of the dinosaurs, the last act before the curtain falls. Yet within their world, there is no doom, nor fear, only life unfolding, as it always has. Each creature plays its part, unaware that their story nears its turning. Perhaps that is the truest beauty of all, to live fully, even as the sky gathers its last great storm. Close your eyes. Hear the thunder echo across deep time. See the lightning tracing veins across ancient clouds. Feel the wind that has traveled millions of years to reach you now. In that sound and shimmer, the Cretaceous still breathes. Its power, its color, its silence, all of it lives within you. For you are built from the same dust, the same light, the same endless rhythm of change. Let the thunder fade. Let the light fall softly across your thoughts. The age of giants is ending, but its memory still glows. A candle inside the storm. The sky was blue that morning, ordinary, bright, serene. Winds moved gently through the conifers, rippling the ferns, sending pollen drifting across still water. Somewhere, a hadrosaur called to its mate, and the echo rolled softly through the valley. There was nothing in that moment to suggest that the age of giants was about to end. Far above, in the emptiness of space, something moved, a stone the size of a mountain, cold, silent, and ancient. It had been traveling for millions of years, unseen, untouched, a fragment of a forgotten collision. And now, its path aligned perfectly with a small blue world. In the distance, Earth turned, unaware. When the asteroid struck, it did not roar, it flashed. A single, blinding light, brighter than 1,000 suns. For a heartbeat, day and night ceased to exist. Then came the sound, a wave of force that circled the globe, shaking mountains, boiling oceans, and folding forests into dust. Where the Yucatan now sleeps beneath waves, a crater opened in the Earth's skin, a scar wider than cities, deeper than memory. Fire rained from the heavens. The air itself burned. Trees turned to torches. Animals fled into smoke, and rivers became mirrors of flame. Volcanic chains awakened like thunder rolling underground. The sky turned red, then black. Ash blotted out the Sunday. A darkness thicker than night descended. Not for hours, but for years. In that long dusk, The world cooled. The warmth that had cradled the age of dinosaurs bled away into silence. Plants withered. The great forests fell still. Without light, photosynthesis halted. Without plants, the herbivores starved. Without herbivores, the predators faded. The chain of life, that delicate thread stretched across 160 million years, snapped quietly in the dark. But not all life ended. In burrows deep underground, tiny mammals huddled for warmth. In the sea, small creatures drifted near volcanic vents, feeding on the Earth's internal heat. Even in the air, a few feathered beings found refuge. The ancestors of birds, light enough to survive, small enough to endure. When the ash settled, these fragile survivors carried the spark forward. If you were to stand on that silent Earth, months after the impact, you would see a world of ghosts. The forests gone, the skies grey and heavy, the bones of giants scattered among blackened ferns. And yet, from the edges of rivers, green begins to return. Tiny leaves unfurl from ash. Rain falls again. The planet, wounded but alive, begins to breathe once more. The extinction that ended the age of dinosaurs did not erase life, it reshaped it. Out of silence grew resilience. Out of emptiness came opportunity. The mammals that once scurried in the shadows rose to fill the open spaces, their eyes wide to the new dawn. And above them, birds, the last dinosaurs, spread their wings and sang, the first songs of a changed world. We call it the end, but nature never truly ends. It transforms. The asteroid's impact was not death. It was metamorphosis on a planetary scale. The Earth shed its old skin, making room for what would come next. Every extinction, every silence, is followed by a breath, and that breath is creation. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine that silence, the deep hush after fire and chaos. No roars, no storms, no thunder, only wind over stone, waves touching the edges of ash. It is the sound of survival beginning again. And in that quiet, if you listen closely, you can still hear it. A heartbeat, slow, patient, unstoppable. The Earth itself, refusing to stop dreaming. The storm has passed. The fire is gone. Only silence and dust remain. Yet within that silence, something ancient stirs. Not life itself, but the memory of it. The bones of the giants lie scattered across new continents, washed by rain, buried by time, slowly turning from living tissue into stone. The Earth begins its long act of remembering. Layer by layer, sediment folds over the remains of the old world. Ash, mud, sand, each grain a second in deep time. Beneath those layers, the bones change. Minerals seep into hollow spaces, crystal replacing calcium, stone taking the shape of once living grace. Vertebrae, ribs, teeth, each one a fossilized echo of strength and motion long past. What was once heartbeat and muscle becomes memory, made mineral. Millions of years pass. The continents drift again. New forests rise over old bones. Mountains fold and unfold like pages in a book. Oceans advance and retreat. And still, the fossils wait, patient, unblinking, preserved in silence beneath the roots of the new world. They are not gone. They are listening. Eventually, the planet grows curious again. Rain cuts into rock. Rivers carve through canyon walls. Wind whispers across eroding stone. And one day, a fragment emerges into light. A tooth, a claw, the curve of a rib, catching the sun after 66 million years. The bones that once carried thunder now lie open under sky, and the earth remembers what it once dreamed. Eons later, another creature appears. Small, upright, thoughtful, hands made not for clawing or flight, but for holding, shaping, and wondering. We arrive, and when we find those bones, we do what the planet did. We remember. We brush away dust, trace the ridges of ancient vertebrae, and imagine the breath that once passed through them. In that act, we awaken the past. The dinosaurs rise again, not in body, but in story. Museums become new cathedrals of time. Inside them, skeletons arch toward the ceiling, ribs like the beams of temples. Children tilt their heads upward in awe, their eyes wide, their imaginations lit by the scale of what once was. Adults stand quietly, not out of fear, but reverence, a recognition of the vastness that made them possible. The giants live again, in the air between curiosity and memory. Each fossil is more than stone. It is a sentence, written in the language of patience. Some bones bear the marks of struggle, teeth scars, from battles long forgotten. Others carry the delicate imprint of feathers or skin, a record of fragility surviving the impossible. In them, we see both the violence and the beauty of life. We see ourselves, creatures suspended between survival and wonder. Scientists chip gently at rock, dust, rising in golden motes under sunlight. Every brushstroke reveals another fragment of truth. A claw here, a beak there, a line of vertebrae, leading into mystery. It is not excavation, it is resurrection through knowledge. To hold a fossil is to hold time itself, compressed into silence. You can almost feel the heartbeat that once moved beneath it, echoing faintly, like the memory of thunder in your chest. The Earth keeps few secrets forever. With every discovery, its story grows clearer, not just of dinosaurs, but of balance, resilience, and renewal. Each fossil is proof that endings are never truly endings, only transformations waiting to be seen. Even now, beneath our feet, millions more bones sleep, turning slowly into history. They are the Earth's diary, written in stone, sealed in patience, waiting for someone to listen. When you close your eyes tonight, imagine the weight of time pressing gently around you, not heavy, but comforting, like a blanket made of years. Beneath mountains, beneath cities, beneath everything you know, the past still hums softly, vibrating through stone and soil. You are walking on memory. You are breathing the same air that once touched the skin of titans. And in that thought, there is peace, for nothing is truly lost. Every life becomes part of the next. Every silence becomes a story, and every bone remembers. The bones have settled, the storms are quiet, and the earth turns once more in its endless sleep. But even as ages pass, their story does not end. It ripples forward into rivers, forests, and the breath of living things. The dinosaurs are gone, yet their echoes still move within everything that remains. Walk through any forest and listen. Each creak of a branch, each sigh of wind through leaves, carries the same rhythm that once swept through prehistoric jungles. Roots twist through soil that remembers them, drawing nutrients from the remnants of their age. Every cell of green, every flutter of wings, is a continuation, the earth retelling its favorite story. In new shapes, new colors, new songs. The birds sing because the dinosaurs taught them how. Feathers still glint in sunlight. Wings still carve air into art. Each call at dawn is a voice carried through 66 million years. Not imitation, but inheritance. When a heron stands silent at the edge of a lake, when a sparrow drifts between rooftops, the line remains unbroken. The age of giants became the age of flight, and the sky never forgot who first dreamed of it. In the deep oceans, ancient rhythms still unfold. Sharks glide through currents older than continents. Crocodiles bask beneath the same sun that warmed the Jurassic rivers. Their bodies have changed little. They were already perfect for the world's long patience. They are time travelers wrapped in scale and silence. Each one a reminder that evolution is not always about invention. Sometimes it is about endurance. Even the mountains carry memory. Fossils sleep within their stone hearts. Shells and footprints, leaves and teeth pressed into eternity. When rain falls, it whispers through those layers, drawing fragments of ancient life back into motion. Rivers carry that memory to the sea, where it dissolves into salt and foam. When you stand at the shore and breathe the ocean air, you are inhaling history. The taste of the sea is the taste of time. Some nights, lightning flickers across the desert. For a brief moment, the land glows white, and the shadows of petrified trees stretch long and ghostly. Somewhere beneath the sand lies the imprint of a claw, perfect as the day it was pressed into mud. When rain falls again, the print softens and reforms, the earth remembering its shape over and over, like a heart rehearsing an old song. And within us, those echoes hum the loudest. The iron in your blood was forged in the same stars that lit the first forests. The calcium in your bones once flowed through ancient seas. You carry within you the same minerals, the same chemistry, as every creature that ever lived. When you move, somewhere inside, the memory of motion, older than humanity, still stirs. A quiet rhythm of instinct and awe. Scientists listen to that rhythm in new ways now. They study isotopes and DNA, reading the code that connects us to everything that came before. They find traces of ancient feathers in the genome of a bird. They find echoes of reptilian heartbeat in the curve of a mammal's rib. Even our dreams, those drifting visions that float through sleep, carry the shape of old instincts. Flight, pursuit, shelter, song. The subconscious is not only mind, it is ancestry speaking softly through time. The earth, too, continues its conversation. Volcanoes breathe, forests exhale, continents drift like slow thoughts across the sea. Every movement is a whisper from the deep past. Nothing is static. Every grain of sand was once mountain. Every drop of rain, once cloud. Every living thing, once something else entirely. This is not repetition. It is continuity. When the world feels heavy, when time feels too fast, remember this. You are part of that same calm rhythm that outlived fire and stone. Every breath is shared with the trees. Every heartbeat syncs with the turning of the planet. The dinosaurs are gone, but their echoes pulse through you, through your lungs, your blood, your imagination. You are the living continuation of deep time, the dream that never ended. So as the night deepens, listen closely. The wind outside your window is the same that once brushed the sails of pterosaurs. The rain that falls has passed through 1,000 ancient skies. Even now, somewhere beneath the soil, the bones still whisper, not in sorrow, but in serenity. They do not mourn what was lost. They rest in the knowing that life continues. And as you drift towards sleep, let that knowing settle in you too, that you are built from the same wonder, carved from the same earth, singing softly in the same endless rhythm. The giants are gone, but the world they shaped is still very much alive. Night has fallen on the modern world. Cities glow where forests once breathed, and our oceans glitter with ships instead of stars. Yet beneath all the new noise of human life, something old still hums, a rhythm written in the bones of the planet itself. If you stand very still, you can feel it, the deep pulse that began long before we arrived. Every atom in your body has been part of 1,000 other lives. The carbon in your breath once drifted through the lungs of a fern in the age of giants. The hydrogen in your blood once belonged to the rain that fell on the first forests of Earth. The calcium in your bones was drawn from oceans that shimmered beneath Cretaceous skies. You are, quite literally, a constellation of ancient light, woven into living form. We live surrounded by remnants of the deep past. The limestone cliffs along coasts are the compressed skeletons of coral reefs that thrived when dinosaurs ruled the sea. The black veins of coal buried under our cities are the ghosts of carboniferous swamps. Forests that breathed sunlight died and became fuel for our modern fires. Even the air you breathe is the gift of microscopic ancestors who filled the sky with oxygen long before breath existed. You are inhaling their labor with every sigh. Light, too, carries memory. Photons released from the sun travel 8 minutes through the void, bounce off oceans, feathers, skin, and continue, scattering into eternity. Some of the light touching your face right now once glinted off the scales of an ancient reptile, was reflected from the skin of a triceratops, or flashed through the eyes of a small bird in the Mesozoic dawn. Light never truly dies. It only travels on, remembering everything it touches. There is a strange comfort in that thought, that the brightness of today was born in the same furnace that warmed ancient worlds, that the glow of sunset is older than mountains, that when you light a candle, you are continuing the same quiet tradition of transformation that stars began billions of years ago. Each flame is a story told in photons, each shadow a brief pause between one memory and the next. If you could peel back time like layers of mist, you would see the planet glowing beneath your feet. Lava still churns under crust and continent. Molten rock still burns in the dark, keeping the Earth alive from within. We walk on the cooling skin of a star that never stopped dreaming of fire. And that warmth, that invisible pulse of light beneath the ground, is the same warmth that stirred the first cells, the same heat that powered the rise of giants, the same energy that moves through you now. In truth, we are not separate from prehistory. We are its continuation. The spark that flickered in the primordial sea is the same spark behind your eyes. The light that flowed through fern and feather now shines through thought and language. The Earth does not remember us as something new, but as the latest translation of its long conversation with itself. We are how the planet has learned to dream out loud. Some nights, when the city grows quiet, you can hear the old world breathing through the new one. A train's hum like distant thunder, the wind across glass like ocean waves, the shimmer of streetlights mimicking stars. Even our machines speak in echoes of nature, wheels turning like orbits, electrons flowing like rivers, voices moving through invisible air. We are still part of the same design, only changed in scale and sound. So when you look at the night sky, I know that it is not above you. It is within you. The stars are not distant. They are your ancestry, your architecture. Their light built your atoms. Their death gave you color and breath. You are not a creature standing beneath the cosmos. You are the cosmos looking back at itself, bathed in the memory of light. Take one final, slow breath. Let it fill you, warm and luminous. You are breathing the same air that once filled the lungs of dragons. You are lit by the same sun that once gilded the wings of pterosaurs. And when you exhale, that breath becomes part of the world again, joining the endless cycle of energy, matter, and memory. The story of the dinosaurs never ended. It only changed its shape. It became the whisper of wind, the flight of birds, the pulse of your own living heart. You are their continuation, a moving constellation of ancient light. Sleep now, and let the universe dream through you. For in its memory, you have always been here, shining softly, endlessly, like the light that never forgets.